We say that we can never come back from hell. This time, a miracle has happened, and it really is a miracle. Mina is near me, still unconscious, but alive, and that is the most important thing. I don't know how Mina will be marked by this adventure, but all I know is that as long as the Count is alive, Mina will be in danger. I can't avoid the confrontation any longer. Once I'm in London, I will have to confront Dracula. For Mina, and for all the men on this earth, this time, and with the help of God, we will definitively destroy the monster. I swear it.
About time.
So our friend has returned alive from Transylvania with Mina and the Dragon's Ring. He has proved to be a more difficult adversary than I imagined. Watch him. He must not cause us any more trouble. Is that understood?
Yes, Master.
I hope so for your sake.
Yes.
Because the
nice.
hour of victory is near, and I will no longer tolerate the slightest error. A little more patience, and Jonathan Harker will cease to be a problem. And then Mina and the Dragon's Ring will once more belong to me. I have spoken.
Master, it's you. It's really you.
Get up and tell me that everything is in place just as I had intended.
Yes, Master. Everything is ready, just as you ordered me to do.
Then let my will be done. Nothing can stop me now. Nothing and nobody.
New game, let's go.
Already a week has gone by since we returned from Transylvania, and I still cannot manage to sleep. Mina's condition is very worrying. The vampire's bite is causing her to have increasingly violent attacks. Fortunately, our good friend Dr. Seward is achieving miracles in his fight against this disease without a name. And then there are these shadows that slide along the wall and seem to watch me. Is it because of the ring that I brought back from Dracula's castle? I hope that Seward can give us an explanation. He's been examining the object for a week now. I myself have finally decided to go to Carfax, Dracula's latest sanctuary in London. Perhaps I shall find some clues there that will help me to pick up his trail. The domain in question lies in the district of Purfleet and is called Carfax. probably a corrupt form of the Old French meaning four faces, given that each side of the house faces one of the cardinal points. The house is very large and dates from the Middle Ages. It may well have been an old mill once. There are a small number of houses round about, one of which is quite big and of recent construction. This serves as an asylum for the insane and is run by Dr. Seward.
Nice.
Phew. Luckily, the light protected me.
Oh shit. Can't go there. No. Okay.
Mr. Jonathan, sir. Please come in.
This place always makes my flesh crawl.
You're right to be wary, and if I may be so bold, I should avoid going into that room when I'm not around. They can be very dangerous, and I'm talking from experience. I shall leave you now. Dr. Seward is waiting for you in his office.
Funny guy.
Jonathan, at last you're here.
We were so worried.
I'm here, and I'm all right.
So then, what did you discover?
It seems that Carfax is not quite as deserted as we thought.
I see what you mean. I've been noticing some very odd things there for some time now. All this is becoming rather disturbing.
Okay.
Have you found anything out about that ring that I brought back?
I've been able to reconstruct its history, thanks to Mina, who has transcribed the wax cylinders which were recorded as a favor to me by a historian friend of mine.
My attacks are so frequent that I don't have much time to work, and Seward insisted that I rest, but I wanted to help you.
What have you discovered?
The last known trace of the ring was back in 1442. It seems it belonged to Radu, a Romanian prince and the half-brother of Dracula. But there's more to it. Apparently, the ring is incomplete.
In fact, in the engravings described, the ring is shown with a kind of diamond in its center. According to my friend's documents, this stone had the virtue of counterbalancing the evil side of the ring. We don't know anymore, but it's certain that Dracula will do everything he can to get it back.
What's with the matches?
Does the name Styx mean anything to you?
It's the river of hell in Greek mythology, but I think it's also the name of a theater in London, isn't it?
Yes, in fact it's all the rage now. A hall where a cinematographer shows horror films. There's a mystery surrounding the identity of the owner, but I've done some investigating and have found nothing in the least bit suspicious.
You'd better think again. I found proof at Carfax that Dracula is the owner of the Styx.
My God, I've read that all London is lining up to go there.
It's a fact that we cannot ignore, but it's very unlikely that the Styx is our principal target. To defeat Dracula once and for all, we have got to find his lair and strike at the heart.
Okay.
I confess I just don't know what to do now.
Mina, if you aren't too tired, perhaps you and I could have another try at hypnosis.
I'm ready to do anything rather than stay under Dracula's yoke forever. Doctor, let's go.
Your eyes are closing. Your spirit is roaming free. What do you see?
I see a garden of stone, a shadow walking. He's coming to find me. I can hear voices. They'll make me go mad. Help me!
Mina, you will sleep now. Sleep. Sleep. She describes the same scene at each session. I think the stone garden must be the cemetery at Highgate.
Highgate, you say? Now that Mina is asleep, I can tell you that my visit to Carfax nearly cost me my life. But a man called Peabody was not so lucky. I found his body, and it seems that he worked at Highgate.
Peabody dead? He was investigating on my behalf. He said that he had seen some strange goings-on near a tomb decorated with a stone wolf. It's more than likely that the cemetery is where Dracula has his secret sanctuary. Take this key and go over there. It will be safer to go via the sewers. I shall stay here with Mina.
Where to now? strange. Rope. Yeah. Think. Oh yeah. Nice. Shovel. Need a shovel, no shovel. the safe. Here's the shovel. Shovel. Ladder. Jesus, what am I saying? Shovel. A shovel. A ladder. Oh yeah. Got the crows? Oh shit.
Well, well, just in time, as the master said. It just needs your corpse, and my work will be finished. And then I shall get my reward. Prepare to die. Oh, but don't worry. I shall make sure it's slow and extremely painful.
Damn. Still alive? Take this. Clock. I don't need no shovel, no? To bury him. No, no watch. Ah, it's a compass. Oh. What? Save. What happened?
Jonathan has already been gone for several hours, and Mina is resting in my office. It is a pity that, because of the urgency of the situation, I have not been able to bring Jonathan up to date with all my work. I have a feeling that the noose is tightening around us, and... But what? My God! It's Dracula!
Leave your guard where you found him. He's of no use to you now. Seize him!
Don't go near her. Get away.
Get him out of my sight. Now, my dear, it appears that our destinies have crossed once again. Let me just relieve you of that wedding ring, which you won't be needing any longer. Now wake up. This time, I promise you, we shall never part again.
God be praised. I am now protected against the vampires.
Notes on the patient Hopkins. Height 1 meter 65, weight 55 kilograms, estimated age between 40 and 45. Date of internment 20th October 1904. The patient Hopkins seems to have been afflicted by a very rare carnivorous pathology, which takes the form of ingesting flies and other insects and other forms of disturbed behavior. What is particularly interesting is that after a series of conversations with him, I became deeply convinced that the man's mind was controlled by Dracula. And then, though Hopkins seemed so cold and calculating that it was possible to believe that he was feigning his illness, he met Mina and was radically transformed. From then on, he has spoken hesitantly and seems far less sure of himself. He has become vulnerable. If Hopkins has doubts, that could be to our advantage. From today onwards, Mina must be present during my sessions with him.
On the eve of the new century, I found an ancient 15th century book of magic in a bookshop in the Portobello Road, which radically changed my life. It tells of vampires and satanic rites, but for once, it is not a work of fiction. The cover is decorated with a ring in old leather in the form of a dragon curled around a stone. I managed to translate the little that remains of the book, which tells of the building of a remarkable sanctuary by a monk named Thaddeus. Alas, now I am old and sick, and although I am firmly convinced that it exists, I shall never find this sanctuary. I have therefore made a summary in this notebook of the information contained in these pages, plucked from time. Finish my quest, if you can, and reveal to the world this incomparable archaeological treasure. The story, as recounted at the beginning of the book, which is intact, begins in a country which would appear to be present-day Transylvania. It tells of the rivalry between Vlad Tepes, also known as Dracula, and his half-brother, Radu, both princes and heirs to the kingdom. When their father, Dracula, died, the symbol of power, a ring in the form of a dragon with a precious stone in the centre, was handed over to Radu, the younger brother, allegedly on the advice of a magician named Dorko. Wild with rage, Dracula pursued Radu and shut him up in his huge underground prison. He also banished Dorko, but the main thing he did was to separate the stone from the dragon ring, which then fell under Dracula's evil influence. According to the book, no one knew what became of the stone. The last sanctuary is the one Vlad Tepes, also known as Dracula, built when he took power after the death of his father. He entrusted the building of the edifice to the monk Thaddeus, nicknamed the Black Monk because of his satanic propensities. But shortly after the sanctuary was finished, the monk disappeared. The author of the book seems to have been an exiled disciple of Thaddeus. He recounts that the latter had designed 3 barriers in the form of initiation rooms, with the aim of eliminating all claimants unworthy of entering the last sanctuary. Unfortunately, the book has deteriorated too much to be able to read the passages concerning 2 out of the 3 rooms. However, it appears that the 3rd room is by far the most mysterious and terrifying. The book refers on several occasions to strange keys, but no information is given as to their use.
Okay.
The Devil's Nails is the literal translation of the phrase in the book, but it would seem closer to the truth to render it Satan's claws. I have made a copy of the drawing in the book. It shows Jacob's dream, as recounted in the book of Genesis. Jacob's ladder represents the link between God and men, but in the sanctuary it appears rather to be a link with Satan. The symbols surrounding it are Sanskrit numbers. The instructions in the text are clear. It is a trap designed to tear to pieces anyone who dares to go there. In the book, I came across a formula which appears could be used to make projectiles against vampires. I have noted it as it might be useful. It looks like a recipe, and it could very well be one. A potion using crushed garlic should be prepared. Add a quantity of vampire's blood, maybe this means bat's blood, heat it to 30 degrees, and pour the solution into a bottle. According to Thaddeus's disciple, all you need to do is soak the projectiles in the mixture to make them into formidable anti-vampire weapons. Now, all this sounds a little like an old wives' tale, but it's best to leave nothing to chance.
Alright.